Okay, so south is dealer and north-south are not vulnerable, east-west are vulnerable. So south's got a pretty poor hand here. They've got 6-7 points in total, and not strong enough, not long enough with regards to suits in order to open a weak 2 or anything like that. So nothing to say really, a balanced 7-point hand. The correct opening bid for south is to pass. So west has got an interesting hand. They've got 10 points, which isn't usually strong enough to open the bidding. But with kind of 9, 10, 11-ish points, you want to consult with the rule of 20 to see if you're strong enough to open one of a suit rather than 2 or 3, or pass, as the case may be. So the rule of 20 states the number of points, 10, plus the numbers of cards in your 2 longest suits. So 6 and 4, 2 longest suits of spades and hearts. So 10 points plus 6 spades and 4 hearts. Does that get you to 20 or above? So in this case, the answer is yes, the rule of 20 is met, therefore it's strong enough to open one of a suit rather than 2. So what the rule of 20 effectively is saying is, whilst it only has 10 points, it's a good 10 because it has good shape. 6 and 4 is a good shape. So you're strong enough to open 1 rather than 2. An important differentiation here, an important mistake not to make, is it's not the number of points in your 2 longest suits, which happens to be 10 in this case, but it's the number of cards in your 2 longest suits. So 6 and 4 plus the number of points you have in total. So 10 points plus 6 plus 4, that gets us to 20, which means we're strong enough to open 1 spade. Okay, now to north, overcalling potentially over 1 spade. North's got quite an interesting hand here. Quite a good hand, to be fair. So they have a choice of bids here. One option would be to overcall diamonds, so bid 2 diamonds. We're too strong to bid any more diamonds, so if we were to jump to 3 diamonds or 4 diamonds or something, that would all show a weak hand with a long suit, playing my style. So we could just bid 2 diamonds, which is 5 or more diamonds and 10 plus points, 5 or more decent diamonds, a couple of honours, that kind of thing. The alternative bid would be to double. Now double would show short spades, which is true, an opening hand, which is true, and support for everything that isn't diamonds, that isn't spades. So we would have support for everything that is not spades, i.e. hearts, clubs, and diamonds. Support in this sense is 3 cards or more. So the acronym for a takeout double is SOS. S, shortage in their suit, O, opening hand, and S, support for any other suit. So both bids apply here. 2 diamonds is the correct bid because you have 5 or more good diamonds and enough points to do so. Double is also the correct bid because you have short spades, an opening hand, and support for every other suit. So the question is, which one is better? So my general advice would be, if you have a choice between overcalling a suit or doubling, you double if your suit would be a minor, you overcall if your suit would be a major. So if this 6-card suit were hearts, I would just bid 2 hearts because it's more important to show 5 or more good quality suits in a major versus a minor. Because our suit is a minor, I think I prefer double because our partner could bid hearts with 5 of them and we might find a heart fit versus a diamond fit. I wouldn't say that bidding 2 diamonds is wrong, but I prefer double because our length is in a minor. So double for me is the right bid because you get your partner to bid something and hopefully you find a fit in a major versus a minor. That doesn't mean you'll never bid. You might double and then it goes 2 spades, then you might come in with diamonds in a minute. That's a possibility. But given the choice initially, I think double is a better bid than bidding 2 diamonds, but I don't think 2 diamonds is a bad bid. So for those of you who wanted to bid 2 diamonds, I think that's a reasonable bid too. I'm going to choose double because I prefer it when you have length in a minor if they both apply. So I'm going to go for take out double. Okay, now to east, responding to their partner's 1 spade. Okay, so east has got a spade fit, which is a good thing, which means we're going to bid some number of spades or some kind of convention to agree spades. And also, they've got a balanced hand with 9 points in total. So whenever your hand is balanced and you have a fit for your partner's opening bid, you want to follow the points as a guideline for how high you should bid. So in this instance, we should follow the points and therefore bid 2 spades because 2 spades shows 6 to 9-ish points and a fit. If we had an unbalanced hand, let's say the king of diamonds was the king of hearts, for example, we would then consult the losing trick count because if you're unbalanced with a fit as the opening side, UFO, unbalanced fit opening side, then you should use a losing trick count for your bid. And in this instance, we would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 losers. So we would bid game. So what that tells you is that having a singleton diamond is much better than having that. Balanced is worse than unbalanced, of course. So with a trump fit, that is. So we should follow our points, and our points say we should therefore only raise to 2 spades rather than 3 spades, because to bid to 3 spades with a balanced hand, you want 10 to 12 points. So balanced, follow your points. Responding to our partner's 1 spade, we have a fit for their spades, but not a very strong hand. So the correct bid, 2 spades. Okay, so back to South, who started the bidding off with a pass. Our partner has made a takeout double, so they're asking for us to bid something that isn't spades. So if it were up to us, we would have bid 2 diamonds, responding to the double as if our partner's opened the bidding. Our hand isn't very strong, but our diamonds is our favourite suit with regards to length. However, they've bid 2 spades, which has rather stopped us from bidding 2 diamonds. So what we've got to decide is this hand good enough to bid 3 diamonds? Whenever your partner doubles, and then there is an intervening bid in between the double and your partner's, the double and their opponent's bid, if they bid something, basically, this is known as a free bid, because if you bid, it is of your free will. You don't have to bid anymore, because this bid has removed the pressure of the double. If East had instead passed, double is a forcing bid, forcing you to bid something, so we'd have had to bid diamonds. Diamonds, because that's our longest suit. Because of the 2 spade, we don't have to bid anymore, but we can bid if we wish, known as a free bid. So, do we want to bid? I would argue this hand isn't good enough to bid 3 somethings. So I would make the argument that bidding 3 diamonds here would be the wrong bid, because we should have kind of 10 to 12-ish to bid at the 3 level, or 8 losers. Neither of those things are true. Because we're balanced, we should follow our points. We have 7 points, so we want to bid 2 diamonds as a maximum, which we can't do. So I think the correct bid here, because of the free bid position, we have free will, we should use that free will to not bid. Alright, so our partner's just raised our spades, the opponent's takeout doubled in between, but we should be looking at our partner's bid to see about whether we can make game in spades or not. Now our partner's bid, we don't know if it's based on losing trick count or points, because we don't know if they're balanced or not, but we should follow our style, whether we're balanced or not. If we're balanced, we should follow points. If we're unbalanced, we should follow losers. This hand is quite clearly unbalanced, so we should follow losing trick count, because we've now found a spade fit. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 losers in total. When you open the bidding, you're showing a 7 loser or better. So as an opener, you know you're 7 losers or better than that. So we are better than our opening bid, so therefore we can bid more. The problem is we don't know whether to bid game or not. What we do have is a really big spade fit. We have 10 cards in spades. The downside is, points-wise, we don't have many points. Our losers is a better guideline, but it's still worth considering that our hand isn't very good with regards to normal opening strength. So a reasonable action would be to pass and just go, well, you've only got 6 to 9 points or 9 losers. I've got 6 losers. Game probably isn't on. But what you can do here is you can do something known as a trial bid. Now what a trial bid is bidding a new suit after you've agreed a major. So after it's gone 1 of a major, 2 of a major, if you bid a new suit, it isn't arguing about what suit should be trumps. It's saying, I'm thinking about game, I'm trying for game, hence the term trial bid, and I'm wondering if you can help me in this suit. This, strictly speaking, is known as a long suit trial bid, because you are bidding a suit where you have length, i.e. losers. You're looking for help in that suit. The reason why this hand is good enough for a trial bid is not its points, because you only have 10 points, but because of the 6 losers. So to do a trial bid, you want either 15, 16, 17-ish points, if balanced, or 6 losers. If you have 6 losers, you're on the cusp between bidding game or not. If you have 16, 17-ish points, you're on the cusp between bidding game or not, depending if you're balanced or unbalanced. So a trial bid is effectively a more intelligent way of raising the spades, inviting to game. Without trial bids, the traditional kind of non-scientific route would be to bid 3 spades, which would say bid 4 if you're a bit nearer the 9 than the 6. But the problem with that is it lacks clarity. It gives your partner the problem rather than you. You're passing the buck, so to speak. So what you can do is bid a new suit, and the suit I would bid here is clubs, saying I'm thinking about game, but I've got concern about losers in clubs. And what this does is it focuses your partner on what's important. If you have good clubs, partner, I think we can make game because you have strength where I do not. If you don't have good clubs, we have a problem because we're going to lose too many club tricks. So our partner's now going to bid 3 spades or 4 spades, depending on if they can help us in clubs or not. And this is a better, more descriptive way of inviting to game rather than just doing the kind of blanket bit of this. Has more texture to it, more information. So 3 clubs is not saying 5 spades, 4 clubs, which it normally would, and that's because the spades have already been agreed. So therefore, 3 clubs just says, I've got some losers in clubs, can you help me? Strictly speaking, this is known as a long suit trial bid. Some players play what's known as a short suit trial bid, which is kind of the reverse of this, which would show a suit you don't have losers in, and by inference your partner works out what suit you must have losers in, trying for game. The short suit trial bid people would probably bid 3 diamonds, saying, I've got diamonds covered, have you got the others covered? For me, I prefer long suit trial bids because it directs your partner directly at the problem you think you've got. If partner has got, for example, king of spades and a good club or 2, we think game's probably got a good chance. If our partner's got rubbish clubs, we think game has not got a good chance. So a long suit trial bid here will focus our partner's attention on where we need it to be. If they've got good clubs, they'll bid game. If they've got poor clubs, they won't. So trial bid, much better. So that's what I'm going to opt for, 3 clubs as a long suit trial. Okay, so back to North. This wasn't the auction that North wanted. North would quite like to go 1 spade double, pass, and our partner bid something. Hopefully we find a fit, maybe hearts, maybe a minor, and then we compete against the opponent's spades. The opponents found a spade fit. Our partner chose not to bid over 2 spades, which would suggest they've not got a very good hand. And now the opponents are trying for game. So they're looking for game in spades by trying this trial bid. If you didn't know what the opponents were up to, you're entitled to ask. You're entitled to say, what do you understand by that 3 club bid? And they should say, a long suit trial bid, weakness in clubs, looking for game, kind of thing. Now, what should we do as the overcaller? Well, 2 options. One would be pass, give in because our partner chose not to bid. We've shown an opening hand, our partner's not interested. The alternative would be to bid our suit as an overcaller, just trying to stir it up, get in the way. I'm on the fence, to be honest. We've got 6 good diamonds, so bidding 3 diamonds doesn't look unreasonable, and we can just about bid 3 diamonds. And we're not vulnerable against vulnerable, so that's another time to be aggressive. The problem is, if we assume our singleton king of spades isn't there, because it's a singleton, it's likely to get squashed by the ace. We have only really got effectively 11 points here, because that singleton king is not in the right place. We prefer that to be the king of diamonds, for example. And in that instance, we haven't really got a good enough hand to double and then bid. Whenever you double and then bid a suit, you should have 16 or so points. So if you want to bid 3 diamonds with this hand, I can see the argument. I'm going to say we don't, just because the 3 level on our own could be too high, and we might just go down in 3 diamonds a lot, especially if they double us. But I can see an argument for bid 3 diamonds here, just to stir it up a bit. But I'm going to suggest we don't, because I feel like we've shown our hand here with the double, and our partner chose not to bid. The thing I don't like is this bid here, this pass. Our partner could easily have a really bad hand, and we could be going way off in the 3 level, especially seeing as they're trying for game. So I think the correct bid is pass, but I can see an argument to bid 3 diamonds. So if some people wanted to bid 3 diamonds, I wouldn't necessarily tell them off. If it had gone 2 spades pass, I'd be more inclined to bid 3 diamonds because they haven't tried for game, which means they probably haven't got as many points, which means our partner will have more. But I think I'm going to pass because I think I've shown our hand with a double. I am a little bit upset that I didn't manage to show my 6-card diamond suit, but I do think double was the right bid originally. It just so happens not to have worked out. So it's just one of those things. If we'd overcalled 2 diamonds, we might have bid 3 diamonds later, depending on how the bidding would have worked out. But in any case, I think pass is the right bid, but I can see an argument for bidding 3 diamonds. I'm going to opt for pass, but I can see an argument either way. I'm right on the fence, to be honest, but I'm going to choose pass. Okay, so as long as we understand our partner's bidding, which of course is the very important thing about conventional bids and clever bidding, the 3 club bid says, I'm wondering about game, can you help me in clubs? So what you want, in opposite to a long suit trial bid, is you want to have help for them in that suit. And there's 2 ways to have help. You can either have honours, quality cards, like this, or you could have shortage. If we had a singleton club, that is equivalent to help because we know we're going to trump our partner's club losers. The kind of suit you want to imagine our partner has for their trial bid is something like 3 small or 4 small. They're worried about quick losers there. So you want to have, ideally, a 1 loser suit in the trial bid to accept the trial bid and therefore go for game. So we look at the clubs and we go, right, our partner is worried about clubs, we are not. We have only 1 loser in clubs, the ace, so we suspect that the club losers our partner is worried about are not going to come to fruition. Therefore, we can bid game. I wouldn't think, oh, what about the heart losers? We might not have club losers, what about the heart losers? With our partner doing the trial bid, they're suggesting that clubs is the suit they're worried about and they have the others covered by inference. So therefore, we can kind of ignore this heart problem and just focus on the thing our partner's drawn our attention to, the long suit trial bid. So we should accept their invitation to bid game because we have help in the club suit, which means we should bid game because we're covering our partner's weakness. So therefore, I'm going to jump straight to 4 spades. Okay, so North to lead against 4 spades. Everyone passed 4 spades out, and it's now North's decision as to what to lead. And long story short, I don't think there's any lead other than the Jack of Hearts. Leading a singleton king is, especially in the trump suit, almost always going to be a bad idea. We might make that king of spades, especially if declarer is looking for it. They might take a finesse and let us make the king on top of their queen if they've got ace and queen, for example. Leading a club or a diamond doesn't look wise because we have the ace without the king. So in a trump contract, you never want to lead a suit where you have the ace without the king, which is referred to as an unprotected ace. You could go, well, what if I don't make my ace? I should lead the ace of diamonds whilst they still have diamonds. It's almost always going to be wrong because even if you win the ace, you haven't damaged the opponents. The best thing about holding an ace is that you squash honours in the opponent's suit. You get to kill the king of diamonds with your ace, or you get to squash the queen of clubs with your ace, whatever the case may be. So I wouldn't lead a diamond because we've got an unprotected ace. I wouldn't lead a club for the same reason. I wouldn't lead a spade because it's a singleton king. In trumps, we might make that. So the only thing left is a heart. Which heart should we lead? Well, we have a sequence, Jack 10, so we should therefore lead top of touching 2. Okay, so down goes the dummy. Okay, so 4 spades the contract. And the thing you want to do in a trump contract is look at the losers, normally in the declarer's hand, because that's usually an easier hand to establish, and then see how you might be able to reduce the number of losers. So using dummies assets with our own, we can see that we're going to lose at least 1 spade, depending on the split. Hopefully only 1 spade. If they split 2 and 1, we play the ace and then just lose the king or queen that's left. 1 heart. Definitely not more than 1 heart because the lead of a heart is into the ace and queen. So the finesse we might have had to take there has been done for us by the defence. Looks like the king would have been in the right place anyway. And 1 club or 2 clubs, depends on the position of the ace of clubs. So a spade, only 1 hopefully if they break nicely. A heart because we've got a small heart opposite a small heart. And a club or 2. So we need a couple of things going for us here. We need the space to split rather nicely. And we need the ace of clubs to behave, or the club suit in general to behave, in order to get rid of just lose 1 club trick. Unfortunately for us, our partner's dummy has a useless asset in the king of diamonds. The king of diamonds might as well not be there, because we've got a void in diamonds. The king is not helping us at all. The ace would be quite helpful, because we could throw a club loser away on the ace of diamonds, or put that king elsewhere. The king of diamonds for the king of spades, we would have no spade losers now. Or the king of diamonds for the king of hearts, we'd have no heart losers now. So the king of diamonds might as well not be there, which is why this contract is a bit touch and go, because our partner unfortunately has a useless card for us. So we're going to lose at least 1 spade, hopefully only 1 if they split. 1 heart, not more than 1 because of the nice heart lead into our ace queen, and a club or 2. We're going to hope for the ace of clubs on our left, and we're going to hope for the spades to break. On this heart trick, nothing to think about. We're going to play a low heart. We're going to squash the king with the ace or win the queen. Doesn't particularly matter. What we're going to need to do is cash the ace of spades, hope they split, and then play clubs from our hand towards the king and queen and hope the ace of clubs is on our left. Now, just one more thing to mention, the double was by North in the bidding, so they are suggesting they have an opening hand, which gives me some confidence that the ace of clubs is indeed on our left. So when we play clubs towards the king queen, it's hopeful the ace of clubs is here. So it's looking like we've got a good chance of making here. So if the ace of clubs is on our left, the only thing that could then undo us is a 3-0 spade split. We can't do anything about a 3-0 spade split, just got to cash the ace and hope they drop. For now, of course, playing a low heart, and we're going to test the spades and clubs in a minute. Okay, so Jack of Hearts lead, we played low from the table, and now it is South's decision as to what heart to play. Doesn't particularly matter, because they suspect from the Jack of Hearts lead that the ace-queen is with declarer. So, if they play the king, it'll get squashed by the ace. If they play low, declarer will win the queen. The king is technically the right card, just in case our partner has led Jack from ace Jack 10, which they definitely shouldn't do against a trump contract. The king doesn't lose anything though. So the king is the right card, albeit it's not going to matter very much, given the position of the ace queen, as we can see. So declarer wins the ace of hearts, like so. And now we should first of all cash the ace of spades to see how the spades are breaking. If the spades are 3-0, we're in trouble. Hopefully they're not. So we cash the ace of spades. We see the king fall, which is a very pleasing sight because it means the spades are 2 and 1. So one opponent has the queen of spades left. We don't actually know who that is because they could be playing the king from king queen, but it doesn't matter who it is. One opponent has one winning trump left. So something known as the rule of 1, and the rule of 1 states if you are missing one trump, specifically one trump, and it is bigger than all of yours, you should not draw that trump. Because by us playing a spade, they're going to win the queen, and they're going to take 2 trumps off us for no reason. We're always losing a trick to the queen of spades, so now let's focus on what we want to do, which is playing the clubs towards the table, hoping for the ace of clubs on our left, which is where we suspect it is because of the double from the beginning. So, low club. This hand should duck. Could take the ace, I suppose, but should duck just in case there's some kind of weird guess going on. Could take the ace, though, I'm not against that. Play the king of clubs, and the club wins. So we now know where the ace of clubs is. Okay. The reason why the defenders should duck is it might give us entry problems if we can't get to our hand in order to play another club towards the queen. But of course we can get to our hand in actually 2 different ways. We can play a diamond and ruff it, or we can play a heart to the queen. Doesn't really matter which one. It is slightly better for us to play a diamond and ruff it, just in case our hearts become length winners if the opponents discard hearts. So it's not necessarily a good idea to open us up to an immediate heart loser. So diamond and ruff it gives nothing away. Of course, you might also induce them into going diamond ace, which they definitely shouldn't do as a defence, because second hand should play low. So we ruff the diamond. This hand is very sad because their diamond tricks are not diamond tricks at all. And now we've ruffed our diamonds to hand. Now we need to play another club towards the queen. It's at this point this hand will take the ace because they are worried that this is our last club. Now that is somewhat unlikely given that we had a void in diamonds, but they know that we're going to play the queen if they play low. So they should now take the ace of clubs, and we play a low club, our queen now a winner for this 9 of clubs. So we did indeed lose only one club, which is what we were hoping for, the ace being in the right place. So we've lost our first trick. If North had the winning spade, which they don't, but if they did, they should play the queen of spades, drawing 2 trumps from us. The rule of 1 in reverse is the defence should play trumps if they've got a winning trump and it's the last trump, because it gets 2 for 1. But they don't have the winning spade, it's their partner. So they now need to decide, should they play another heart, or should they play a club, giving us the lead, or should they play a diamond, giving us the lead? I'm not so keen on them playing a heart, because it might be that we have queen 9 of hearts, and by them leading the 10 or a little one, they might give us an extra heart trick. They know the queen of hearts is with us because their partner played the king at trick 1. Now, as it happens, their partner has the 9 of hearts, so a heart is also safe, but they wouldn't know that. So my preference is to not give anything away, play the ace of diamonds, squashing the king with it, and making us ruff again. Gives nothing away whatsoever, forcing declarer to ruff in their long holding, like so. So we ruff that diamond. Now we can play a club, winning our queen. Goes club, 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 and club. And as it just so happens, the clubs are breaking 3 and 3, which means our 7 of clubs on the table is indeed a length winner, because they split 3 and 3, which is rather lucky. As it happens, though, it doesn't matter, because we play this winning club. The opponents can trump in or not, doesn't particularly matter. Let's say they don't, doesn't matter though if they do. We can throw a losing heart, but we've still got a losing heart. So it doesn't actually help us, because we were going to ruff that 3rd round of hearts anyway. So even though we can play this winning club because of a 3-3 break, we didn't need the 3-3 break, because we could have just trumped that club if necessary and just given the opponents a heart at the end. So it's actually completely irrelevant that they broke 3-3, albeit it's good to be on the ball and to be counting it to know that the 7 of clubs is a winner. Now looking at the hand, it's obvious we're going to lose 2 more tricks. We're going to lose a heart because we've got the queen and a little one, opposite 2 little ones, nothing to do with the heart loser, and we're going to lose the spade. The only hope we've got is we give the opponents the lead with the queen of spades, and then they lead a diamond or a club. They can't lead clubs, of course, because they've run out. So they lead a diamond for us, enabling us to trump in this hand and throw a loser in this hand, or vice versa. That's known as a ruff and discard. Now the defence should absolutely not do that, but it's our only chance. So, spade, I suppose you could actually play the queen of hearts. Actually thinking about it, if you play the queen of hearts first and then play a spade, it might be that they haven't got any hearts left. Actually, yeah, I quite like that. Play a heart to this one, to the queen, like so, removing a heart from them. And now you can see we've got a losing heart, but what we could do now is play a spade and hope that the person who wins the Queen of Spades, like so, has to play as a diamond, which would therefore give us a ruff and a discard. If it was the position where there was an extra heart here and an extra diamond here, it could be that they have to play diamonds, which therefore would give us a ruff and a discard. But unfortunately for us, the hand is as such, so all they have to do is play a heart. So we tried a little end play there for an extra trick, but it didn't work. Fortunately for us, the other things did work. The ace of clubs was in the right hand, the spades broke. So we have still made our game, albeit we now have to lose this heart trick, like so. So that heart loser was inescapable, the club loser was inescapable, but we didn't lose an extra one, and the spade loser was inescapable, but we didn't lose an extra one either. So the hearts and the clubs and the spades all behaved nicely for us. So we managed to make our game here, and, just worthwhile pointing out, we had 10 points and open on the rule of 20, and only 9 points in the dummy. And yet, because of the huge fit and because of the shape, game is made. Okay, so just thought it was worthwhile mentioning that it was possible for the opponents to be in 5 diamonds here instead of the 4 spades we just saw bid and made. The decision that North made in the bidding was to double 1 spade instead of overcall diamonds. Now, interestingly, if they'd overcalled diamonds, it might have been that they'd played in diamonds because their partner has a huge fit for them. So if it had gone past 1 spade and this hand had chosen to bid 2 diamonds as an overcall instead, you can definitely see a position where North-South would have bid 5 diamonds as a sacrifice against 4 spades. It might go something like 1 spade, 2 diamonds, 2 spades, 4 diamonds, level of the fit, 5 diamonds plus our 5 cards in diamonds makes 10, so bid for 10 tricks, 4 diamonds. This hand might now bid 4 spades, just on a whim of a huge spade fit, less scientific but possible. Then this hand bids 5 diamonds because they have 6 diamonds plus their partner's known 5. That should then get doubled, and 5 diamonds doubled could be a good score, because if the opponents make 4 spades, which they just did for 620 because they're vulnerable, because we're not vulnerable, this is the perfect time to make a sacrificial bid, green against red. So the question is, how many down would 5 diamonds go? If it goes 3 down or better, then 5 diamonds doubled is a good sacrifice, because 5 diamonds 3 down doubled is 500 versus the 620 they would have got. 2 down will be 300, 1 down will be 100. So, how many down would it go? Well, just looking at the losers, because of the position of the opponent's cards, which allowed them to make 4 spades, it means we get butchered in 5 diamonds. Because we lose a diamond to the king, because the king is offside, so we lose a diamond, whether we play a diamond to the ace and lose the king or try the finesse. We can see there's a void here, so we know what's going on. So we lose 1 diamond trick. We lose 2 club tricks, because the king and queen are in the wrong hand. They are this way around. So we lose 2 club tricks, so that's 3 tricks in total. We lose 2 heart tricks because the ace and queen are sat on top of the king. So that's now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tricks, and we lose the ace of spades, which is 6 tricks in total. Now, that looks like it's going 4 down, but what declarer can do is potentially discard one of those losers on the set-up spade. So if the opponents lead spades, which they probably will, it'll go spade to the ace, which kills the king, but that makes the queen a winner, and on that queen we can throw one of these horrible club losers. The problem is getting to the dummy. So what you would have to do is then play the ace of diamonds and a low diamond, giving them the king, and then use another low diamond to access the dummy. The defense to defeat that is to win the ace of spades and play a club through straight away. That then means you then have to duck the club, then they win, then they play another one to their partner, another heart, and then another club comes through. So, without going through the entire hand, it is possible for the defence to get it right, to keep you to 4 down, losing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tricks. The declarer might escape for 3 down, but actually should go 4 down, and 4 down doubled is 800, which is worse than the 4 spades. So even though an overcall would have hit a huge fit, still the wrong thing to do. Letting them play in 4 spades just so happens to be the right thing to do, even though they can make it, because a sacrifice is too expensive, even at these colours. So 5 diamonds would have been 4 down, doubled, too expensive. So better to let them play in 4 spades, which is what we did.